in the last video you would have saw that I finished third in Leicester's Bikc local finals for the heavyweight class, which qualified me for the regional finals in Leeds. The only problem is though, I've never been to Leeds before. So the following week after the local finals, I went up to Teamsport Leeds to take part in their Need for Speed event, which consists of 4 15-minute random grid start races. And because it's regional season, all the quick guys from Coventry, Leicester, Nottingham and Stoke all turned up for some regional practice, which actually made for some really fun and exciting racing. So how did it do? Let's find out. Hello YouTube and welcome back to another video where today you join us up north. We're at Teamsport Leeds. Yeah, we're at Teamsport Leeds for a bit of regional practice, as you would have seen in one of the previous videos that we qualified for the Bikc regional finals. So obviously me or Supercart Blondie have never been to Leeds before, so tonight we're doing a Need for Speed event to familiarise ourselves with the track. So we're not looking for anything in particular, it's just going to be 4 15, well I hope it's going to be 4 15-minute races. The last couple of times I've done a Need for Speed, they've changed it up a little bit. So yeah, I'm just hoping for 4 mixed good races, that's all I want really. A bit of fun to learn the track, see how the quick guys are going around the track. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of regional finalists here as well, especially from Coventry and Nottingham. So I know a few people that are coming up here. So it should be a fun night, see some people I haven't seen before, get to grips of where we are, you know, speed-wise, especially towards the end of the night. We've still got another practice night as well before the regionals, so I'd say this is just going to be a bit of fun. Nothing too much, not expecting too much. Yes, learn the track, learn off the quick guys. Hopefully have a fun night, and yeah, let's, like I say, it's Need for Speed event, so 4 15-minute races, should be mixed grid. So yeah, let's, if it is going to be four races, let's get to race 1, and I'll see you on the track. So just before the 4 races, we do have a quick 5-minute practice just to get used to the track, the karts, just to make sure we're acknowledging the flags. Nothing really happens too much, but I do get a couple of overtakes like this one just before this hairpin, and I get a second one just before the Bridge of Death, which was definitely an experience to experience this the first time. So it's nice to know I'm not the slowest out there straight away, but after the 5 minutes we all stop here, we all get gridded up, and my worst nightmare happens. I start on pole for the first race, so I don't even know the track, and I'm starting on pole, which is not really, I wanted to start near the back, but we're going to do what we can. So here we go, first race, lights go out, give the car a little push, look behind us, see if anyone's coming to attack, and they don't. Luckily there's quite a big gap in between each good position on this track, so no real threat from behind. And there wasn't for a good few laps, so the person in second ended up being one of the slower drivers on the track of the night, so luckily he was holding up the field a little bit. So coming to lap 7 here, coming into lap 8, I'm already starting to defend, coming into the first corner there, lock up the brakes a little bit, looking behind me, seeing where second position is, which I believe is the lightweight winner from Coventry. So tough competition, but we've got another one here then on the left hand side as they're trying to attack. Coming into a hairpin, coming into the second hairpin, and I get tagged from behind. And we go, luckily, I get pushed from behind, which allows me to keep the position. So just give the guy a thumbs up, you know, say it's all cool, you know, nothing, it's not harmed too much. Coming into lap 10, then coming into lap 11, going defensive, go again and look at the speed difference on the left hand side. Coming into the first corner on lap 11, as they get the switch back, kind of keep the position, going side by side into this, to turn 2, 3, 4. Fortunately, I just don't manage to get a good drive out of the exit turn 4, which allows me to lose 2 positions. So I'm almost going to lose another position there. Luckily managed to keep it just there, but unfortunately just get a switchback map there does. Coming into 4th position now, so I'd have lost the podium positions after keeping it for half the race. So it all just unfolded in 1 lap. But coming towards the end of the lap, I do manage to stick around for a bit, but coming to the straight, there's no way I'm keeping with the lightweights. They just seem to fly ahead on the straight. Coming into lap 13 then, there's no rest for the wicked quite yet. I see another kart behind me, keep it on the inside, keeping defensive, and as you'll see throughout this whole race, the whole night pretty much is keeping defensive. Coming up to the bridge of death, I do leave the left hand side door open now, which allows the kart behind to slip on through. Try and keep it as much as I can down into 5th, but still got the inside line coming into the last corner. It's back into 4th, but unfortunately just being a heavyweight and maybe not as much of a good kart. Fortunately it means I'm down to 5th now, coming into lap 14. Slowly losing positions, coming to lap 15, coming on to 16. Going defensive once again, coming up to the first corner, but I do go wide as they're not too far. Lock up the brakes unfortunately, and gives me a poor exit. And then coming into 2, 3, 4, the kart behind thinks a bit better of it and doesn't attack me just there. I see a back marker coming up, but coming into the hairpin, and he tries to dip his kart. Maybe to scare me, maybe for me to leave the space, but I didn't really see it. I didn't see his kart, you know, alongside enough for me to determine to give him that space. So I did close the door on that one, but we are coming to the back marker now, which is what I'm looking forward to. He goes wide, coming into the last corner, I'm landing outside. And then I was hoping here I'd get the overtake, but unfortunately my kart has just not got the power to pull along. So he does leave the inside door open there for 6th position, and he does get through. Maybe I can still keep it. There comes 2, 3, 4. I'm on the inside, I'm still trying to keep it, still in 5th. But he is on the inside there, coming up to his hairpin. Just pushes me out. Almost lose 7th there as well, but luckily managed to keep it. So that is us down into 6th position now, and as we do speed this up a little bit, as we have still got that back marker. So I am hoping he does play a bit more of a part in me getting back to 5th position. But he doesn't, and luckily he doesn't get in the way for us, as we're now on the inside line and not the outside. So coming into the first corner of lap 18, we do the move, and luckily he manages to block the karts behind as well for a couple of laps, so it does open up a gap. So coming up 20, the checkered flag is out on the first hectic race. So that's us in 6th position, down 5 positions unfortunately, but it is what it is. And so there is the result, 40.8 quickest lap on that one. So yeah, that's the end of the first hectic race, and the races get much more hectic from here. Race 2 time then, so we started in 14th for this one. We've had a pole start, now we're having our back start. Lights go out, try and give the kart a little push, and here's a good example of kart difference and weight difference as the guy in 15th comes storming past my side, but luckily I'm on the inside line, so I do manage to keep the position. But if that's not, you know, a good example of kart and weight difference, I don't know what it's going to be. Get on the inside there, kart 2 managed to take 13th position, so we've gone up a position. Try around the outside of Alex there, can't quite get it, but I do see the inside door open, take advantage, but just don't get a good drive coming out of that second hairpin. But he does leave the door open on the left, going inside the bridge of death, so I am going to seize the opportunity, and I do manage to get the position, so we're up into 12th, and everyone's all bunched up coming into these last 2 hairpins, so going to try and take advantage here, but unfortunately don't quite take advantage. So we've gone up a few positions there, which is what we're like. We're going up, coming into the first corner then. Can I try and take 11th? Not quite. 2, 3, 4, do give him the room there, but I just can't quite take 11th. Alex there trying to take back 12th as well, but I've got the inside line coming into the first hairpin, and that guy in the green suit does send himself into the wall, which causes the yellows to come out. So everyone gets a little bit of a breather from that absolutely manic, hectic start. Coming into lap 3 then, back on green flags. Coming up to kart 1, oh, there's a bit of a takeover there from kart 13. Bit of a kerfuffle, but we do take advantage. We're currently in 8th position, but we can't quite take 8th, and Alex actually manages to get past us, but luckily we are in the perfect position to take 9th position and keep it. And kart 13 actually gets black flags for that incident, so he is going to allow us to go past without putting up much of a fight. So we're now in 8th position, which is exactly what we like to see. The last race we were going backwards, but now we're going forwards, almost in the position that we finished in the first race. But as I'm having to go defensive here, coming into lap 6, I believe, from Alex behind, who was on the attack after getting past kart 13. So I can't rest for this one. Just show that Alex has got a bit more pace. As I look on the left, he's there, he's putting his kart there, but I'll come out wide, and I don't feel like he is alongside enough for him to give him that space, and he gives us a little bit of a nudge. But but I do give him the thumbs up just to say no harm done. I say speed up a little bit then, coming into lap 7. There is a red flag, and I say just give him the thumbs up there, which obviously, you know, just to make sure it's all good. Come yellows then into greens. I don't actually think Alex noticed it too well, because this does generate quite a bit of a gap. As you can see there, I've got a massive gap now to Alex when he was right behind me the last lap, and now I've got a nice big breathing space, which is a bit what I like to see, considering from the first race, you know, being under pressure the whole race. And there's a nice bit of a gap. Coming up to a back marker then, Kart 19. I need to get past him really, because Alex is still attacking, or still catching up. Nice big dive bomb coming into the first hairpin, exactly what I want. I don't want to be held up by the back marker. Right, Paul gets held up by the back mark here. Paul Clegg, TikTok megastar Paul Clegg. As he tries to get past the back marker, gives him a bit of a nudge. I give him the finger, a bit of a dick move, but you know, we're good friends, so just telling him probably shouldn't be taking out his back markers. But now I've got past Paul, so now I'm in 7th, but I know he's right behind me, and I know he likes his dive bombs, so I need to get past 14. He leaves the door, but just doesn't. I'm not quite alongside enough to take advantage. Paul on the right hand side there, comes 2, 3, 4, 3 wide. Luckily no injuries though. As we try and get past Kart 14, he does block us a little bit. Paul's right behind me, and I don't really want to give him the space either, as I do want to finish in 7th, as this would be a good grind. Speed it back up again, then coming into the last corner, I do go wide here, because I know Kart 14 is going to leave that gap on the inside like he did on the last lap, so I take advantage of that, and I'm just going to put my kart right where it needs to be, overtake the back marker, and Paul also gets through as well. So I know I've got the last few laps here of needing to defend from Paul, but coming into the last lap, I've got a car behind me, go defensive. I don't want to take any chances. There's no one in front, so there's no point of trying to go on an attacking line. Don't want to leave the door open. Coming into the bridge of death, leave the left hand side shut as well, so no one can get side by side. Coming into the last 2 hairpins, I know no one's really going to go for an attack here, so keep it nice and wide, get as much speed as I can. There's a checkered flag, keep it on the inside because that car is behind me, and we finished in 7th for that one. So that was a really good race, really enjoyed that one. We went up quite nicely from 14th to 7th, so yeah, a 6th out of 16 for the first race, a 7th out of 16 for the second race. Let's see how the third race goes. Time for race 3 then. We are starting in 5th position for this one as the lights go out. We give the kart a little push once again, defend the inside line from Matt, as we've got the same kart from the last race, and we know it's not as good to pull away from, but we managed to keep 5th position. And we look on the inside here of the kart ahead, looking for 4th position, as we're not going to quite get it here, but Matt on the inside there tries to take the advantage of the wide door that I left open. The Kart 19 ahead then goes wide. I think gave him a little tiny push, but not enough to cause the kart to go that wide. But we do take 4th position then, coming in under the bridge of death, as we know we're going to get attacked from behind. We can feel it coming around the last couple of corners. So we've made a position up, which is what we'd like to see, but the top 3 have just disappeared at this point. Coming up 3 then, the guy in Kart 19 actually swaps his karts, so he comes back out, hoping he's not going to get in the way too much, as he's now one of the back markers. As we look behind, we know Matt's right behind as well, so we know we're under pressure, which is why I don't really want to battle this kart ahead too much. So he's gone from Kart 19 to Kart 5 now, as he actually starts defending, coming into the bridge of death, so we know he's not just going to give way, so we're going to have to fight our way through. Coming to the last 2 hairpins, he goes a little bit wide at the first hairpin, which hopefully I can get a better exit coming at the second hairpin, and he does give way on that one, so luckily not too much of a battle. Coming into lap 4 then, we're still in 4th position. We're still going to have to work for this 4th. Coming to lap 8 then, coming to lap 9, you can see the kart right behind us, which is going to force us to go completely wide. Coming into corner 1, you can just see him on the left there. They're not backing down, they get the switch back, which causes us to go down to 5th ever so slightly into turn 2, 3, 4. We still manage to keep 4th as they're on the left hand side then, coming into these 2 hairpins. So we're defending well so far. We still keep 4th, but we look on our left hand side, their kart is just going to put the nose in. Unfortunately not enough to get past. I was a tiny bit annoyed at that move, as you can see with my hand going up, but I didn't actually see the Kart there at the time, so I was a tiny bit annoyed. But to be honest, looking back at it, the Kart was far more than enough in there. I just weren't going to give up position that easily though, of course, because we are in a race. I'm still having to defend from the Kart behind, as you just seen them there coming over the bridge. The Kart's still there. Look over to the right, Kart is still there, so he's making me work for this very hard. Coming to lap 15 and we're at the end stage of the race. We're coming up to this back marker. We're hoping we don't have to battle him too much like we've had to in the last 2 races. Coming under the bridge of death, we're gaining massively, possibly looking the inside, back out of it, but he does go wide, so luckily we don't have to battle with him too hard. But as we are going to look behind us, there's a Kart behind us once again. We're going very defensive, coming into turn 1, lap 16 now, as they get the switch back, coming into turn 2, 3, 4. It's going to be side by side. Can I still keep 4th position? I managed to on this occasion. Coming up the bridge, he's still on the left hand side, coming into the 2 hairpins. But if we skip forward a bit, coming into lap 17 now, we're going to do the same thing, very defensive into turn 1. As he tries to switch back, he's side by side coming into turn 2, 3, 4. I'm still keeping 4th position, but coming up the bridge, Paul Clegg is on the inside, which compromises my power coming up the bridge, which allows the Kart ahead to slip past, and that is me down to 5th. And unfortunately, that it's just how it goes. That is the end of the race. We finish in 5th position, so it is still a good result. So we're happy with 5th, so that's now a 6th, a 7th and a 5th, so we're pretty consistent in the mid-pack. We're just hoping that the last race is going to be a good one. Give Paul a bit of a shake of the hand there. And yeah, let's cut to the final race. And here we go then. I hope you're sitting down for this final race, because it is an absolute cracker. Race 4, starting in 6th position, once again in the middle. The lights go out, give the Kart a little push, but it doesn't look like I'm going to get any threat from the left hand side of being attacked. So we stay in 6th position at the first corner. The front crowd seems to get away a little bit, but I do start to catch up again as they bunch up. But at this point I'm starting to realise maybe my car isn't as quick as it was in the last 3 races. But some more kerfuffle ahead. There's a gap open there on the left hand side, which I take, so that's jumping up into 5th position, which is beautiful. You say you don't have to have the quickest car, as long as you can take advantage where you can. You're going to move up positions, especially at the start when everyone's going to want to try and get past everyone. Kart 12 ahead, tries a move on Kart 14, it doesn't quite get it, or doesn't see it's clean, tries to wave him back past, but I'm going to bonk 12 ahead, which puts me into 4th. Coming to the first hairpin, I think he really wants to let that Kart 12 pass, so I actually managed to take advantage on that one. So that's up into 3rd position, so back into podium positions, but someone's on the left there. It's going to be a lot of defending this race, and I've drove really wide at that hairpin, which is definitely not what I want on lap 2, but we've got a nice bunch of karts behind me now. Jumping up to lap 4, we're still in 3rd position. We can see 2nd ahead, but we've also got a car on the left hand side there. But coming into the hairpin, we're going to get completely dive bombed on the right hand side, which causes us to lose 2 positions. It was a bit of a funny move. I mean, he was 50% alongside at the point of the apex, so I'm going to leave that one to you lot, YouTube. Leave in the comments, what do you think of that move? Skipping forward then to lap 5, coming into lap 6, I'm having to go really defensive. There's a car on the left, Paul there is really alongside it. It's just showing the poor power in his Kart 3. Just does not seem to want to move at all. But we still managed to keep 5th position. Skip forward then to lap 7, coming into lap 8. Once again, we've got a Kart behind us. We're going to do a bit of human DRS to try and get as much advantage as we can. Coming into the first hairpin, a bit of luck at the brakes. 2 karts behind me, also probably going to be battling along as well. As at this point, I believe I've got a 5, 6, 7 kart train behind me. Looking on the right there, still a kart, so I'm going to keep really defensive coming into these hairpins. I'm also noticing as well, I've got the kart ahead as well, so 4th position could be on the cards. It also depends how much I'm going to have to defend here. Really defending then on the left hand side, which compromised my line going into the bridge of death. And I wanted to keep it flat, and I did, and I still managed to keep 5th though, so that's the important bit. Come lap 10 here, got Paul on the right hand side, and once again we are still having to defend. This whole race is just full of defending. Coming up the bridge once again at left hand side, Paul's still there, he just wants to get past, but I'm putting my kart in the exact right positions that I need to put it in order for him not to pass. So coming once again up to the Bridge of Death, you are going to see the Paul Clegg view. As we come under the Bridge of Death, Paul's going to get such a good run. He's going to look on the inside, but just does not quite get alongside enough to get the move done. And unfortunately, I think cost him a lot of positions as he's in the wall. It was a fair play move, I thought, just wasn't quite alongside enough. I didn't see him till last minute, which is why I turned the corner. But after the yellows, going back to greens, we come to lap 12, and I'm once again going to try and get taxed on the left hand side. This Kart 3 just has zero pace in it. Coming through turn 3, 4, and again up the bridge, left hand side, there's still a Kart there, so I'm having to place my Kart on the right, really defend, and I've still got 4th position ahead. It's like he's just teasing. It's like if I wasn't defending, I could probably go and attack. But if we skip forward then, coming into lap 13, once again going very defensive. A look on the left, see if they're there or not there. I'm still going to keep defensive though. Coming through the corner 1, and again they're still there on the right hand side, but they back down, coming to 2, 3 and 4. Up the bridge, he's not on the left hand side, but I do notice him on the right, so going to just keep defensive. And then we're going to come into lap 14, 15. We've got 2 back markers ahead. Again, getting attacked on the left hand side. Still getting attacked, and there's 3 wide now with Hanno also in the mix. Coming to 2, 3, 4. We've really caught up to these back markers now. Are these going to play a part? I'm a bit worried at this point, but luckily both of them managed to let us past. So luckily no involvement with them. Coming to lap 16, coming to lap 17. Once again going very defensive into turn 1. This whole race is just going defensive. I told you to. I hope you were ready for this one. Going into 2, 3, 4 then. Again, still in 5th position. I have no idea how I'm still here. Kart on the left hand side, Kart's behind me. Keep it very defensive going into these 2 hairpins. But luckily no one seems to be attacking me at the 2nd hairpin. So at that point I knew I could sort of go wide. I'm going to skip forward then. Coming into the final corner. Coming on to lap 18, 2 laps left to go. Keeping it very defensive. I've got Karts behind us. They're bashing me up. The engine is not loving life. It is really just making noises it shouldn't. 3 wide going into 2, 3, 4, but they back down, so I managed to still keep 5th position going up the bridge. Notice no one's on the left, they're still right behind me, so I'm going to go really defensive coming into the 2 hairpins. I'm not going to let this door open because I really want this 5th position. Skip forward once again. I've got Hannah's view on the right hand side there. The checkered flag, it looks like it's coming out, so we're on the final lap now, keeping it very defensive. If we look on Hannah's view though, the 2 carts behind me are going to start attacking, which means it's actually going to create a gap for me, that they start attacking each other just there, which creates a nice big gap. As I look behind, I'm pretty confused at this point because I haven't seen that, and I'm like, oh, I've got a bit of room, which is actually exactly what I wanted. See, just to look behind with almost disbelief. But coming under the Bridge of Death then for the final time of the night, coming through to the final 2 hairpins, to the final time of the night. It's been a great night racing. I really enjoyed it. There's a checkered flag. I really enjoyed that race. I really enjoyed the night. 5th again, so overall that puts me in 6th out of 16 once they worked out the points based on the F1 style. Yeah, really fun night. I really hope you enjoyed this on YouTube, and let's cut to the pits.
All aboard the boot train!
Sorry?
All aboard the boot train!
Mate, this car is so...
7 cars behind you!
Hey, that was a fair play move, that was.
I tried, didn't it?
You gotta try, mate, you
I got
gotta
stuck
try.
on the barrier as well, so I lost all the positions.
Got that car. It had loads more pace than yours.
Mate,
I was pushing you around, man.
Oh, I think everyone was. I can't remember who it was. I knew everyone was behind me, was literally getting side by side by coming into the first corner.
Yeah.
So bad.
Yeah, I had no power, yours was. That was the best car I've had all night, that one.
Considering they told us that, like, that guy said 18 was rivers.
Yeah.
So I had that for heat 2 and 3.
I can agree.
Number 3 was way worse than 18.
Oh.
My foot race. Coming down the straight, keep switching to like, everyone's cruising, all you hear me in. Alright guys, there we are. Fun night to be fair. It's a fun night. It's a physical track, very physical track. But yeah, it's been a fun night. So defended a lot. I think, if I can remember, it's 6th in the first race, 7th in the second, and 2 5s, which placed me 6th overall out of 16 people that turned up. like I say, we had a low people for Coventry, a low people for Nottingham. Yeah, it's great to battle with them all. It's great to see a few faces as well. It used to race with a few years ago. Karts are interesting, especially that Kart 3 I had in the last race. I had to defend hard on that one. So I don't know how I got into 5th place, but I did. So yeah, so we've got one more. So yeah, for night, I do like the track, so it's good that we've got regionals here. Yeah, so we've got one more practice session to go, but you'll probably see that after the regionals have been done. If it turns out any good or not, I'm not sure. But yeah, this is I hope it's a fun video to watch. I really wish I had a rear cam again, so with all the defending I was having to do. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this on YouTube. It was a fun one to do, so I hope it was a fun one to watch. So yeah, regionals, let's get it. Regionals time it is. So yeah, if you did like this video, please leave a like, comment, and if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching YouTube, and I'll see you possibly for regionals.